Hey there, I'm Lindsae Echols with the Heather Murphy Group in Savannah, Georgia, and today we're going to talk about one of our sold listings, 24 Chapel Drive.
What made this home special?
So I think one of the things that made this home special, it had been in the family for quite some time. The seller was remote, but his mother still lived here, and another family member as well. And so he came down to meet with me to discuss what it was going to take to get it ready to sell, so that they could move with their timeline and him move her closer to where he is now.
What was the market like when this home came on the market?
So when he first reached out, we were probably in the beginning of what I now refer to as a softening of our market. So it was in the spring, which normally would be a busy time for us, but it was a little bit different this year. It felt a little bit different, and we already kind of recognized that. We discussed that with him ahead of time, but we also knew that we had work cut out for us as far as time goes, because there were some items that needed to be addressed.
Did the property have any unique challenges?
I don't think the property had any unique challenges necessarily. There were several challenges though. It was very dated, and every seller is different. Some are willing to do all the things. Some can only do some of the things. It really just depends on what the financial picture looks like and what the end goal is. Thankfully, in this regard, he took all of our recommendations, and we worked with several of our preferred vendors to gather estimates for him and get a timeline together, just to take care of the items that needed to be done, such as we did a whole home painting. We changed all the flooring in the house. We renovated the spare bathroom. There was some additional work that needed to be done on the exterior, and then some within the enclosed garage area.
What were the seller's goals?
So initially the seller's goals were to sell as quickly as possible. And then once we broke it down and gave him the recommendation list, we took a step back, and he realized in order to sell for top dollar, it may take a little bit of time. And so then the goal became top dollar.
Were there any concerns before listing?
I'd say the primary concern that he had prior to listing was because he was a remote seller, or he lived several hours away. How was he going to manage the process of getting it ready, and the movers, and just the timeline of all of it really was one of the concerns that he had. And once I met with him, I think he felt a little bit better about how we work as a team and what our process is, and how we can be as involved as you need us to be or not. And so once he knew that we had his back here and he could go back home, then we were good to go.
What recommendations did you make before listing?
So prior to listing on this one, we made recommendations for a complete spare bathroom renovation, all new flooring throughout the home. The kitchen cabinets were dated, so we recommended painting those and adding some hardware. Recommended kitchen countertops, and we also recommended some update, like a refresh in some of the hardware and the light fixtures throughout the home.
Did the seller make any improvements?
The seller made all of those improvements, which is amazing.
What changes had the biggest impact?
For me, I always say paint and floors go much further than what you would think. So I would say that the fresh paint and the new flooring made all of the difference, especially the fresh paint on the cabinets in the kitchen, because even though the cabinets were still dated, it gave them a fresh new look with the hardware.
How did you determine the listing price?
So when I met with him, I knew going in that I might need a range as far as list price, because I wasn't sure how dated or how motivated he was to make any changes that were necessary. So I did go in with a range, and typically how I would price a property is the comps within the last few months that have sold within the neighborhood, or just slightly out of the neighborhood within the same square footage area, and then go from there with what the updates look like. At this condition, you can get away with this price, which is usually on the lower end, or making these updates or the recommendations, then we can list top dollar and potentially negotiate up instead of down.
How did the market respond to that?
The market responded very well to our listing and to him taking our recommendations to heart. We had several showings, more than several. We had a lot of showings within the first few days, and we were under contract, I believe, within 72 hours.
What kind of buyer interest did you see?
We saw significant buyer interest. I had calls, emails, texts, I even had people want to see it before we went on market because they saw that we were kind of over there doing some work ahead of time. And that initially is what led to us going under contract within 72 hours and for a little bit over asking price.
Did you receive multiple offers?
We did receive multiple offers on this one.
What can other Savannah homeowners learn from this sale?
I would say what other Savannah homeowners can learn from this sale is listen to your agent. And then more importantly, in this market specifically, it's about price and condition. You have to get the price right, but the condition has to match the price. And what we're seeing more so in this market than in previous markets is most buyers want something that is turnkey. On a unique property, you can get away with potentially having a few things to do for the buyer to take care of whenever they get there, but for the most part, with the cost associated with purchasing a home in this market, buyers want it turnkey and don't want to have to spend $1 once they move in.
What mistakes did this seller avoid?
By making the recommended repairs, I would say the seller avoided the mistake of longer days on market, which typically leads to price improvements and increased concessions. So definitely his net to seller was much higher because he followed the rules.
If someone is thinking about selling, what should they take away from this story?
If you're thinking about selling, I would say to take away from this story is really just the idea of make sure that you're in a financial position to have a home that's market ready. In this market, if it's not turnkey, buyers are expecting a deal, and that usually comes with lower price and concessions. And what we're seeing is more often than not, sellers don't have the equity to do that.
What's one thing every seller should know before putting their home on the market?
So at this moment, one thing that sellers should know before putting their home on the market is the average days on market for our area is 92. So while you may have purchased in a market where you bought it in -2 days, we're no longer in that market. There are some homes, like I said, when priced appropriately and they come out a showstopper that will go under contract within a few days, but for the most part, they're on the market for longer than that, 21, 30, maybe even 60 days. Still getting full price offers, but it's just taking a little bit longer for buyers to come around. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Lindsae Echols with the Heather Murphy Group, and remember, list with Lindsae.